Good evening and welcome to the Zoning Board of Appeals meeting for the town of Gray for September 26, 2023. Our roll call, Anthony Grabats.
Present.
Derek Shirley.
Present.
Brad Fogg, present, and Georgia Woodbury is excused. Our first order of business is approval of the minutes of the the May 24th meeting of the board. I don't believe I got a copy of that. Did anybody?
No, I remember it was via Zoom.
Okay.
The minutes are in your packet.
Oh.
You should have a copy of the minutes.
Well, bear with me.
I didn't get one in the mail.
Either did I. I move that the minutes, approval of the minutes be postponed until the next meeting.
Mr. Chair, I gave you a copy of the minutes at each one of your... It should look like this.
Was it oh, this?
That's it?
That's it.
Well, that was the short business meeting that we had.
No, right, that was like this little Zoom
I
chat.
had to
It was, we
I had
didn't
to
know that we had
remember
any
what it was.
applications.
Okay. Is there a motion to accept the minutes of the,
I second.
okay,
Or,
Fogg makes a motion to accept the minutes of the May 24th, 2023 meeting. The second is by Shirley. Any discussion? All those in favor? Unanimous. New business, public hearings. I make a motion that the High Road LLC and Hero Property LLC appeal be tabled. Be tabled. There's no time certain yet. Is there a second?
I second.
Any discussion?
No.
It's being tabled because the town and the company are trying to work together to resolve the situation without having to go through a legal process. All those in favor? Unanimous. The second order of business, is it POCH? POCH Properties?
I believe that's how you pronounce it.
POCH Properties LLC is requesting a practical difficulty variance. Is there a motion to open the public hearing?
I motion.
Shirley motions to open the public hearing. Is there a second?
Yes.
Rabat seconds. Any discussion? Declare the public meeting for POCH Properties LLC open. To start off, POCH Properties is requesting a practical difficulty variance from the standards established in the sign ordinance to install a ground sign located on their property at 25 Portland Road, Gray, tax map 043-404-174-000 in a village center zoning district. Is there somebody here representing POCH that would like to present?
Good evening. My name's Deanna Emery. I'm with Bailey Sign Company, who has put in the application for this. And so what we are asking for is an additional aggregate area of 16 square feet for the property. That is because there are sign standards for this zone in the village zone that does allow for a 24 square foot sign on the building, 2 of those, which they already have, and it does also allow for a freestanding sign of the size that we propose. However, there is another caveat to that they say your aggregate area for all signage on the property can only be 56 square feet. So if you add up a 24 square foot sign for the building on one side, a 24 square foot sign for the building on the other side, and a 24 square foot freestanding sign, that would be 72 square feet. So we're lacking some aggregate area of 16 square feet in order to have the freestanding sign that is actually allowed otherwise per the sign ordinance. The sign does meet all other standards, size, height, lighting requirements. We're just asking for some additional aggregate square footage for all signage on the property. The previous key bank that was there did have the same signage on the building as well as a freestanding sign. So we feel that this should be allowed.
Do you have any knowledge of what the previous bank sign at the street looked like?
I do have a photo of that.
Could we see the photo
Sure.
of that sign that was previously there for Key Bank? Oh, it's on her phone.
That's okay.
I recall going there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, do you know the approximate size of that sign?
I do not have the approximate size of that.
Okay.
It was removed before we were in that space.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions?
It's gonna be a sign that's lit up, correct? You said
External lights,
external lights.
correct.
Okay.
When we say external light, are we talking like, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Ground lighting.
Nope,
So they
not
keep
crown
us
lighting.
going.
So on the drawing, if you look at the side view, you can see there are lights that attach and shine down onto the face of the sign. Those are the same lights that are currently also illuminating the building signs.
It's gonna be lit up 24 hours?
No, that would just be in the during nighttime hours.
Okay.
I guess I'm not seeing these lights.
No, it's like kind of just faded in the design. See, it's like right here.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah. Those like.
Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
No.
It's a side view.
Sorry.
Yeah, right there, yeah.
okay.
It's a side view of
Yeah. Okay.
the sign. These are the two.
It's a good thing we have young eyes on this board.
That was it for my questioning, thank you.
Okay, let me,
I have a simple-ish question. Are you able, is there any feasible alternative so you don't have to do it this way?
The only other option would be to remove one of the two building signs, and we feel those are needed when you're in the plaza to know that that building is Main State Credit Union.
So probably not an alternate, like you wouldn't say there wouldn't be a feasible, that's not feasible really. I'm not a sign expert, I'm actually a screen printer, so like
Sure.
I understand a little bit, but
Well, the sign, in our world, signage is used to find a business, and so if we were to remove one of those signs, it would be more difficult to find that business. So, no, I wouldn't see that as a solution.
I'm gonna put you through the grinder here now, because I
Sure.
don't see these, unless I am missing something totally here. Look on the back side, there it is right there. I was looking for the variance.
yeah, that's why.
These are on the page 2 of that, it might be up there. If not, you can look at that one, please. A question for the code enforcement officer. Tammy, do you know that, is this street sign, roadside sign, really any larger than, let's say, Dollar General across the street, or, excuse me, up the road, or Dollar Tree across the street? Because they have the building sign and then they have the roadside sign. Or is it any larger than, let's say, the Mobile Station sign, or Manny Ties sign, or Cumberland Farms sign, standalone sign. I mean, those are all within the village center. And co- Pardon?
For the ground sign?
Well, the Cumberland Farms has a large ground sign, and they have the building sign also. McDonald's has the building sign, and then they also have a roadside sign. And the Mobile Station has a small building sign and a roadside sign.
Yeah, this would fit in with the same size as the other signs that are around the village center.
Okay.
If anything, this might be a little bit smaller than that dentistry one, because that dentistry place has been there for a while. It might have a sign that's grandfathered.
Well, I was thinking the aggregate signs, because, you know, the Mobile's got a street sign and the
Without
building
doing
sign.
calculations, it's difficult to determine that.
Okay,
But this is not, to me, doesn't strike as an excessive, egregious way of trying to, cover the entire building with signage. It's asking for a smaller percentage over what the allowed is.
okay. Thank you very much. I would make a motion that the need for the variance is due to the unique circumstances of the property and not to the general condition of the neighborhood. And I'll explain that more if there's a second. Okay, Fogg's motion, Shirley is second. Discussion. Although the sign might be a little larger, I would be honest, I drove by the property today, and the Main State Credit Union sign on the village side of the building really is not viewable from the street. And it limits anybody passing by the plaza as to which building is the credit union until they're actually on the building itself. In other words, they don't have the opportunity to know that it's there before they drive down past the plaza. And the street sign certainly would help that. And I think that the sign from that perspective is in the same what's the word I'm looking for? Isn't much different. It's no different than other signs that appear on that section of the road within the village center. So I don't think it's gonna be outside the look of the neighborhood, so to speak.
I agree with that.
Anything else? All those in favor of the motion? It's unanimous. Anybody for letter B?
The granting, Derek Shirley, the granting of variance will not produce an undesirable change in the characteristics of the neighborhood and will not be unreasonable. Like, did we just do that? Oh, no. Unreasonable, the detrimental effect to use or market value of the abutting properties.
I second the motion.
Yeah.
Third, you third the motion?
You third the motion?
I agree, again, that the village center is changing. The comprehensive plan is directing that we try to do something to develop the village center and its properties. And from the evidence submitted by the applicant, it would appear that the sign is, very honestly, it's a good-looking sign. Has some type of greenage around it, low lighting, not detrimental to the neighborhood, and certainly would help identify where the credit union building is. And there was a previous sign of a different nature there for Key Bank, so I don't think that we're doing anything that was outside of the intent of the ordinance. Anything else? All those in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous. You want to try literacy?
The practical difficulty is not the result of action taken by the petitioner or a prior owner.
Is there a second? Grbatz motions, Fogg seconds. Discussion. This one seemed to be a little more difficult, where the previous property occupant removed the sign that they had, so to make a comparison is more difficult. But I don't think that the practical difficulty is not a result of the petitioner or any prior owner. It's just that, times are changing and the village center is changing, and with the comprehensive plan directing more activity into the village center, hopefully, that this is not the result of action taken by the petitioner or prior owner. Any other discussion? All those in favor? Pass. Unanimous.
I can read D.
Okay.
Derek Shirley. No other feasible alternative to a variance is available to the petitioner.
Is there a second? Shirley motions, Grbatz seconds. Any discussion? To the petitioner. Now, one of the reasons you stated was that the sign on the village end, on the TD Bank side, and I think I said the same thing, is not really readable from the street until you're right on top of it. And you need that sign on the village end of the building for what specific reason was it again?
That is for in-plaza traffic, so
Okay.
once you're inside that.
In plaza traffic. Okay. And without the sign, would it be difficult to identify what that building was?
Correct.
And there's no signage of any type facing the interior of the plaza, correct? Like facing the hardware store? Okay. And ultimately, with the two existing signs, it would not be possible to put a sign for the same reasons on what I call the hardware store side of the building, correct?
Right.
Okay. Any other discussion? All those in favor? It's unanimous. I would make the motion that the granting of a variance will not unreasonably adversely affect the natural environment. Is there a second?
I second that.
Fogg motions, Shirley seconds. Any discussion?
Nope.
And I would just say, it looks to me like the sign going in would be a contributing factor to the improved appearance of the grass strip in front of the bank. And again, shrubbery is always nice to look at around a sign, and certainly doesn't give it a plain looking effect, more of a, if you will, I think it gives it more of a village appearance.
Yeah. As the kids say, it looks fresh.
Exactly. Any further discussion? All those in favor? It's unanimous. I would make the motion that the property is not located in whole or in part within the shoreland areas as described in Title 38, Section 435. Is there a second?
Yes, sir. Second.
Fogg motions, Grbatz seconds. And unless they've moved the lake or the streams or the rivers or the marshes,
I was gonna say, I wish it was, low key.
well, maybe someday we can have a pond somewhere in the village, I'm not sure.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. Unanimous passes. I would make the motion, Fogg motions, that POCH Properties LLC is requesting a practical difficulty variance from the standards established in the sign ordinance to install a ground sign located on their property at 25 Portland Road, Gray, tax map 043 404 174 000 that allows an increase of the aggregate signage for that property to be 72 square feet in total. Is there a second? Second is by Grabats. All those in favor of granting the appeal? Unanimous. Sometime in the next week, somebody in the code enforcement officer will type up a decision that they'll get somebody to sign to finalize this, and you'd be good to go. Sure thing. Is there any other business?
Yeah, until I have my admin, I'll be doing
Okay.
those.
Is there any other business before the zoning board of appeals tonight? Seeing none, we are adjourned at 7:38.
Record.
Thank you very much.